I use Facebook. It's a good way to network with people you haven't, seen in a while. They really know how to, like, I don't know, connect and search and find people, and then suggest people for you to, befriend. So it's interesting to see, how people have, the same interests that I do now that I didn't know about, because you just sort of lost touch. But then they announced, like, one of my friends I knew in high school is in Baltimore now, and he's like a Vipassana meditation person, and he's also in a band, and he also does, all kinds of different nonprofit work too. So it's just interesting to see how the, interests and activities kind of interconnect.
We are actually trying to make search a social experience, search a community-driven experience. So I think it should not be one company or two companies building search platforms. It should be millions of community-driven search apps. That's what my company does. So that's how much we are involved in social media.
I have a Twitter account, I have Facebook, I have LinkedIn, I have lots of different social media accounts. So I use them, probably not the extent some people do, but I'm familiar with them, can use them, can get out there and do things. I was monitoring Twitter as I was sitting in the conventions, like, okay, people are coming up with different thoughts than what I am about what people are being said. So it's an interesting way of catching people's thoughts.
It's slowly being used. I think Kaiser is one of the first companies that we've seen really use social media effectively to share health information, but it's not widespread yet. So I think that is going to be the next big thing, and I think that's really what it's not being used for at this moment in time, but it will be in the future. So.
I use all of this stuff extensively, but I'm somebody who's come from a place where I've been doing all the same things since before we called it social media, and I have a slight allergic reaction to the term social media. To me, it's just, I have a great quote from a friend of mine. His name is Gary McGraw, and he said, years ago, he said, everybody keeps asking me to join this or that social network. He said, I already belong to a social network. It's called the internet.
I hate to admit it, at home I'm kind of a family and friends follower. But I don't do a whole lot of commenting and rating of things. But in a few niches where I have specific interests outside of work, and there's one or two, I have found it really useful. Just even buying a snowboard, I learned a lot of good information about the difference between one and the other just from this community of snowboarders that I found in California.
So I use social media essentially for two things: one, to connect with family and friends, and two, to sort of connect with the professional friends and talk about what's happening in the professional space. I think we need more consolidation in the sense that with all of the various apps like Twitter and Facebook, we need to have more tools that allow you to essentially interact from a single point or a single touch point.
It's going to become seamless. Like, I don't think we're going to notice anymore what counts as social media. Like, that antiquated term is going to drop off pretty soon, I think, and it kind of irritates me now anyway, right? I think it's just, as far as like my work in web design, I see it as part of content, and we have to model that content in with the rest of our content. I think it's just going to become transparent and seamless and, distributed in a way that we don't even notice what's what. We can just move between those worlds of contributing and consuming and, pulling down. It's not going to be as segmented as it is right now, I think.